have the founder and marketing head at a travel-based startup, the Tarzan Way, Shikhar Chadha with us.
Hi, thank you for the introduction. Hi everyone, thank you for joining in at 7:47ish p.m. in the evening on a Saturday. So that's really amazing. Let me tell you a bit about my journey. Right, we are short on time, so I'll just try to wrap it up within 10 minutes. Right. So this actually is my second venture. When I was in college, I was 18. I started my first company. That was a backpacking hostel, a place where people can stay together. Right, a home-like feeling to all the travelers. That was our first company. We started with a space of 20 people. We expanded to a space of 40 people. We expanded to multiple spaces of 80 people, right? And over this period of 1.5 to 2 years, when we were running this backpacking hostel, we got an opportunity to meet thousands of different travelers from more than 80 different countries. And we also saw a lot of problems which travelers faced. We saw how, packages can be really expensive. I mean, when you're buying a travel package, you never know how much it, costs. And we have seen people coming from South India spending around 80,000 just for Delhi, Agra, Jaipur tours, right? So we realized that there's such lack of transparency in travel. And then we saw a lot of other problems that international travelers faced. Just to give you one example, there was this one guy. He was a boxer. I don't remember his name. We just used to call him Jon Snow because he used to look like that character. And he came to India. From the moment this boxer guy, 6 feet, stepped in, he was cheated. He was duped. He was given 10 rupees in exchange of $1, right, in Paharganj, and somehow he came to our hostel. So I asked him, "Hey, you wanna go out to eat tonight?" Just I was just helping him out. I just want to lighten his mood, and he said that India is unsafe in the morning. How can I go out at night? So at that point, I and my co-founder Aryan Negi was my co-founder at that time. We realized that probably we should move to a different space. Probably we need to do something else. And at that point, we made a tough decision. Right, that was back in October 2017, and we sold out our first hostel in January 2020. Then we started a second company that was the Tarzan Way, the one that I am supposed to talk about. And we started as a very small product, right? Users come to our website, they answer a couple of simple questions, and we make a personalized plan for them. And then we realized that, boss, this is taking a long time. To make a personalized plan, it used to take us 4 to 5 days, right? And then to do the bookings, to negotiate the best bookings, it used to take us 3 to 4 days. And again, to offer 24/7 customer support, it used to take us even further time. So then we realized that probably we need an AI-based software, right, that can simplify this entire 5-7 day process to just 1 second, right? And then we started building that software, but there were so many challenges. We did not have the data first of all. For an AI-based software, you need a lot of data, right? And the cost of that data was around 1 crore 28 lakhs that we had to pay. And we were not that, we were not that rich. Neither were our parents that rich, and neither we had funding, nor was anyone. We were not even getting funding at that point of time. Reason being, we had just sold our space. We had a little bit of money, and that was in hospitality. Now we are in travel, so that was one challenge. But then we managed to get the content one way or the other, right? And then again, then we realized that probably we need to add in unique activities to make something to make them even more special. So we started tying up with villages. As you know, the previous speaker mentioned that 70% of India's population is living in villages. He said 50 was 70, yes, right? So we started tying up with these villages, very unique villages. Let me name one for you, Laluri Khal. It's a very unique village. It's somewhere near Srinagar in Uttarakhand, right? And we created one experience, one unique travel experience called Live with the Villagers. That was our first experience. It was rocking. We got a lot of clients for it, and it was a really special experience because it led to a new beginning. And we started gathering more and more unique activities, living with the fishermen, learning the traditional handicrafts, travel and learn Indian martial arts, a lot more, volunteer and travel, right? And we were doing pretty good. Our revenues, it started from zero, went on to 30 lakhs, went on to 60 lakhs, and then 2019 happened. 2019 September, my co-founder left the company. So that was one of the biggest, and one of the worst things that could actually happen to a company, that my co-founder left. He was facing depression, and he was in depression for 6 months, and he left the company. So that was one of our biggest challenges. Luckily, we had our CTO in the team, but my CTO was actually more connected to my co-founder. So I and my CTO, we had a very tough decision. And at that point of time, we only had 7 people in our team. Co-founder had left, only 2 people full time, 3 people part time, me and the CTO. And we had a long discussion as in what to do next. And I asked him, "Do you want to do this?" And he said yes. And he asked me the same question, and yeah, that's what we did. We continued. So yeah, we continued. Cut to March 2020. Revenue increased by 7x as previously. Secondly, we got a team of 44 people. Right, we got a lot of people full time coming in. Right, that was March 2020. April 2020 happened, and that was COVID-19. So all the revenue, drained down from 15, 17 lakhs per month to zero for the next 6 months. And and when my co-founder was leaving, I thought that there wasn't a bigger challenge that I could face. I mean, I had seen everything, but then COVID happened, right? So yeah, COVID story, would take a long time. But again, I would just like to briefly cover it. Initially, the revenue dropped down, so we thought what we should do. So we started focusing on technology. When we started focusing on technology, we realized that there was a lot in technology that we had to improve on. Moving further, we thought that now we needed some business coming in. We needed some clients. We need some traction because we were also getting some government grants at that point of time, and we had to get certain traction, right? And COVID was not allowing us to do that. So we started with this caravan travel, recreational vehicles, a vehicle where you can eat, sleep, travel. So that actually worked well. In case of PR, anyone can do PR. PR is great to do, but PR will guarantee you, a growth in your venture. Maybe not, right? Caravan did not work out, even a single bit. We got 40, 50ish clients, but it did not really work out. Then we started working with workations. Workations thing really worked well. Then we started more with unique destinations, the destinations that had been green zones since forever, right? Something like very unique villages people did not even know about COVID, right? And we only sent people who were tested. So what happens in this case is that villagers get employment. In fact, they get self-employment. It leads to reverse migration because there is a lot of business coming in the villages, and alternatively, as travelers, they get to experience something very different. So that's why we filled our database with these unique activities and so on. And then 2021, things started becoming normal. From September to April, we achieved similar revenue as previous year. Not more, not less, exactly same, right? But April, things became bad again, considering that the wave two, came in. And yeah, we are still growing. We have received grants from Facebook, Amazon Web Services, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the Tarzan wave. And I think it's 7:30 now. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you, sir, for such amazing words. Now, if anyone has a question, may raise their hand and I will call to. So, Paritosh, you can go on with your question.
Hi, Shikhar.
Hi,
Am,
Tarzan. Hi.
am I audible? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good evening. Actually, my question is very much particular about that how you managed to make a team again, and how did you manage to raise the fund? The basic question is because in the last 1 year, this is the biggest two challenges I am facing in my startup. This is
Okay.
in different sector, but overall the challenges are same. So
Okay.
how did you manage it?
Definitely. So the first thing, what I feel, so the first thing that we did after my co-founder left, we went to see our advisor. I believe that every company needs to have at least three advisors. One who's young and has done a startup in a similar space, one who's old and had been in a lot of companies in the similar space, and one who's in technology if your startup is in technology space. But not two are also fine. So we went to meet him, and he told us that, Shikhar, I always see you. You coming in, you're talking, you're speaking, but I don't like only seeing you. I want to see more faces, right? And he said that, how much equity do you have? And I said, I have 78%. CTO, he has 22%. He said, what are you going to do with this, right? I mean, it's just lying there, right? And he said, why are you not getting people in your team, right? I said that we don't have the funds to get people in the team. I mean, that's a challenge, right? And he said that you need to get people who are passionate about your venture, who are passionate about the idea. Those people who will continue the company, even if you leave, even if you leave. Those kind of people, right? You cannot hire those kind of people ekdam se. You need to research a lot. You cannot go with the inbound approach that this person is going to reach out to me if I open up applications. No, you got to reach out to the people, right? So you need at least four people who are working full time, right? Maybe not as co-founders, but on equity basis, right? And even a little bit of salary might help. So that's how you get these only four people for different departments. And trust me, these four people are going to do the job for you, right? Secondly, as far as funding is concerned, We haven't been funded by private investors so far, because we got an offer from Canada to expand in Canada. That was for 250,000 Canadian dollars. Sorry, 350,000 Canadian dollars. But we did not go for it, considering we had to stay in India because we had done so much work in India. But I believe that specifically, as far as funding is concerned, you should definitely make a progress report. You should definitely track. Tracking is, I think, this is one of the biggest mistakes that I have done over past at least 2 years. I did initial 2 years. I never kept a track. I did not know my revenue. I did not have KPIs. I did not keep a track of anything. So I could not make proper progress reports. When I could not make proper progress reports, I used to, do estimates and make them. So keep a track, prepare regular progress reports, focus a lot on traction, and that's your way to go. And do not forget to, read about government grants. Right? They're coming in. Get incubated if you want to. Just for 6 months, get incubated, and they'll be informing about all the government grants coming in, and take benefit of the same.
Sir, I have one question.
Thank
I'm
you. Thank
Harish.
you so much.
Hi, Harish. Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, sir, my question is that I am right now an MBA student. I'm doing MBA in marketing management and final year student. Sir, after that MBA, I am not going for getting any job from the college placement. I'm just planning to do any social entrepreneurship so that I can contribute for the rural background people for their lives, sir. So I'm still thinking, sir, what can I do so it will be helpful for those people as well as for my growth. So please suggest me, sir.
Okay. See, my first question is, you want to help people in rural environment. Of course, that's great. But what are you really looking for? There are a lot of industries that you can go in. There are so many industries that I cannot even name them if I, start naming them one by one. Okay. So you need to figure out one thing that you're passionate about. Okay. There cannot be 13 birds with one stone, right? You need to figure out what thing. I am fond of travel. I love traveling. I go to places, I see places, I love celebrating cultures, I love, celebrating festivals, meeting people. And that's why I went into travel space. The question is, which space do you want to go in? And when you figured out that space, figure out what problem do you see in that space, right? And when you have figured out that problem, figure out that solution that you want in that space. Once you have figured out that solution and you are passionate about it, go ahead. It's going to be wonderful. But do not just, and for everyone, do not just start a venture just to start a venture. Do not just start a venture for, just to, with an idea of helping, right? Start a venture because it's going to be a very challenging road, very challenging journey. A lot of times, a lot of founders feel like quitting. They would not say it, but they do, right? And they do because they're not confident, because they're not sure about exact specific vision, idea. Be very specific about things, and that's how you actually. I cannot tell you which space to go in. I cannot tell you ideas. I can tell you a lot of ideas, but that might not be the right fit for you. So you need to figure out a problem and a solution, and there you go.
Thank you so much, sir. I will go
Hello.
for this.
Yeah. Hi, Himanshu.
Hello. Yeah. Like, can you do, can, can you tell me what are the challenges that you face in marketing both pre-COVID and post-COVID
Marketing post COVID. That's what you're asking.
and pre-COVID?
I'm sorry, I'm really unable to hear you. Can someone please?
I think Shikhar, he said pre-COVID and post-COVID marketing challenge.
Okay. So pre-COVID marketing. So see again, media hypes a lot of things. Pre-COVID, post-COVID. It's a media hype. All right. Thing is, what I somehow feel is that when COVID situation was going on, right, it was a period of around 4 to 5 months, right? That meant that people are not going to be traveling, right? After that, of course, we had to add on a few provisions. I'll tell you what we added. Caravan vehicles, right? Caravan tours, that is recreational vehicles. As I mentioned before, people can eat, sleep, travel in that. So they are pretty safe, well sanitized, well furnished, a lot of facilities, camps. Second thing, individual unique destinations, individual, travel ideas for unique destinations, something like villages, something like, fishermen, live with the fishermen, or martial arts in very different places which have been green zones, right? So rather than pushing groups, or rather than pushing specifically famous destinations, we had to change to unique destinations. Third thing, we had to show. Marketing is a lot about show, all right? You gotta tell people what you're doing. So I told them, we told people that, we are going to be offering slot bookings. No activity is going to be in groups. Everything is going to be in slots, right? I think okay, yeah. And lastly, last point is that give me one thing. Yeah, all right. And last point is, before COVID, what we used to do was we used to focus a lot on different partners, advertisers, right? And advertisers used to help us get a lot of clients, right? But after COVID, we realized that advertisers were not able to do a lot, right? Why? Because they were still using the previous strategies. So again, I would not differentiate much, but I would say that you have to tell people what you're doing with time. With time, you have to show people what you're doing. As far as if you Google workations in Goa, you're gonna find the Tarzan way on top. Why? Because we have worked on it, we have researched about it. And marketing cannot be done without proper operations. If we do not have vocations, we cannot promote vocations. Even if we get the clients, we won't be able to handle them, right? So that's how there have been these few changes. And of course, after COVID, it rapidly increased for some time. But I feel that it's going to be stable again. So the curve is going to smoothen itself because people have not traveled for so long. That's why they want to travel even more right now. But after that, it will smoothen itself. Anyone else?
Thank you, sir, for
Yeah,
such
thank
amazing words. Now we are running short of time, so you can post your queries in the chat box and Shikhar sir will entertain them later
I
on.
have to leave right now. So, but I'm sharing my email ID. So, if anyone has any questions,
Okay.
right, just mention Markoknow and your query in this sort of format. Just put it at subject, and I'll be happy to answer. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for spending so much time with me, and I'm really glad to be here. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.